Welcome to this English listening story. This story is about a quiet man named Walter and the things he never threw away. Sometimes, what we keep tells a bigger story than what we lose. Let's begin. Walter lived in the same house for 48 years. It was a small wooden house at the edge of a sleepy town. The paint had faded. The roof had a few holes. But the garden always had flowers, and the mailbox always had his name, Walter Reed. Walter was 76. He lived alone. No wife. No kids. No pets. Just a quiet life and a house full of memories. Walter never threw anything away. If you walked into his house, you would see books stacked on the stairs, old radios on the table, postcards stuck to the fridge, and photos. So many photos on every wall. There were boxes of letters, buttons from jackets, broken watches, school notebooks, birthday cards, and keys that opened doors long gone. He had every mug he'd ever received, every movie ticket, every Christmas card, even a broken clock that hadn't ticked in 20 years. People in town said, "Walter keeps too much." But Walter smiled and said, "Every object has a voice." Each morning, he made tea in a chipped yellow mug and sat in his favorite chair. He watched the sun rise through the same window he had looked through for nearly 5 decades. His days were quiet. He fed the birds. He read old newspapers. He sometimes talked out loud to the house, to the air, to the things he kept. One day, a letter arrived. It was from the town council. They wrote, "Dear Mr. Reed, we will be building a new road through your street. We ask all residents to relocate within 3 months. Thank you." Walter read the letter twice. Then he put it on the kitchen table and stared at it for a long time. He stood up and walked through his house room by room. He touched the wallpaper, the books, the photos. He whispered, "I can't leave all this behind." The next morning, he walked to town hall. He said, "I don't want to move." The woman at the desk said gently, "I'm sorry, sir. Everyone has to. Progress, you know?" Walter walked back home slowly. That night, he didn't sleep. He sat in his chair and listened to the ticking of one working clock and the silence of all the broken ones. Then an idea came. If he had to leave, maybe the town could remember. So the next day, Walter began writing small notes. On a photo of a boy in a tree. "This is me, age 10. I fell that day but didn't cry." On a toy train. "My father gave me this when I turned 6. On a wedding invitation never used. She said no, but I kept it anyway." He put a note on the fridge. "These magnets are from every town I visited. Only 5. I liked home better." He spent days labeling everything. By the end of the week, the house was like a museum of one life. People got curious. Neighbors started visiting. One by one, they came to see Walter's collection. They walked through the rooms and read his notes. A young woman said, "This is better than any museum I've seen." A boy said, "It's like walking through a story." Word spread. Soon, teachers brought students. Writers came with notebooks. A film student asked to make a documentary. Walter stood at the door and smiled. He said, "I never traveled far, but my things did." Then a woman arrived. She was 43, with glasses and a calm voice. "Hello, Mr. Reed. I'm from the city archive. May I walk through your home?" Walter nodded. She spent hours reading, taking pictures, asking questions. At the end, she said, "I'd like to help you. Let's turn your house into something more, a memory place. A small museum." Walter was quiet. Then he said, "Okay." The town agreed. Instead of tearing the house down, they moved the road. People helped fix the roof, paint the walls, add lights and signs. 3 months later, the Walter Reed Memory House opened. It had tours, a small cafe, a room for letters where visitors could write about something they kept. Walter lived in a small room in the back. Each day, he welcomed guests. He told stories, and people listened. One boy asked, "Why did you keep so many things?" Walter said, "Because life goes fast, but things slow it down." Another visitor asked, "Do you regret not throwing anything away?" He replied, "Not once. Every object is a piece of time." Years passed. Walter got older, slower, but still smiled. One evening, he sat in his chair, the same one he always loved. He looked around. So many things. But he didn't feel crowded. He felt full of memories, stories, colors, sounds. That night, he wrote one last note. "If you are reading this, thank you for visiting. I may be gone, but my things are here. And maybe in them, I still am too." Walter passed away in his sleep. The house stayed. People still visit. Children still ask, "Why did he keep this?" And parents say, "Because stories live in small things." So next time you find something old, a button, a letter, a photo, maybe hold it a little longer. It might be waiting to tell you something. Thanks for listening. See you in the next story.